Is it the same thing here? Like, is it like I like this person, I want to make a promotion faster, or it has to be, what it is?
There is meritocracy and there is also likability,
Hmm.
whether you like it.
Like ability works here.
Nepotism
There's,
is there.
yeah, it is there. It is in every to understand that. Be good, be competent.
There is nothing bad with learning to be likable. The only point is don't overdo it.
Yep.
Don't be somebody that is throwing yourself at the foot of everybody because you want to be likable.
Have an accent.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Never. I've
Yeah.
never tried it out. I just speak as it comes. What I'm conscious of is, do I have my tenses correctly?
You are enough. When we growing up in Nigeria, we used to watch the BBC. And we used to think everybody spoke like people on BBC.
Yeah.
But when you come here, you see that London accent is different from Manchester accent.
Scottish
It's different from Scottish accent.
Oh, God. Try as much as you can. Don't have too much on your desk. Part of your priority for that day is to have personal conversation. Lunch breaks.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going for coffee. Would you like to come along?
Exactly.
You see, those things come to people like us easily. But if it doesn't come to you easily, you have to learn it.
Hello guys, welcome to another episode of the Fado Frequency. This is where we narrate their war stories unfiltered. And on today's episode, we'll be discussing something very, very interesting. We'll be diving into a conversation that everyone wants to listen to, I'm very sure. We'll be comparing the work culture in Nigeria against that in the UK. And in the studio here, I've got beautiful people. I mean, two beautiful ladies and one gentleman here in the studio. I'm not counting myself as I'm the host. And let's go straight to the introduction. Can we meet you, sir?
Leave the side. That's part of work culture. There's no side in the UK.
Yeah.
It's first name basis.
Okay,
Exactly.
nice one.
Okay, I am Toib Adewale Adelodun. I've lived in the UK for 17 years now.
Oh.
And it's been amazing, honestly. Like, you get to see the world from different perspective. I've spent over a decade in construction industry, and I've worked in social media, marketing, different hats. I do coaching, I do public speaking. So
Thank you for coming.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
must confess
Thank you.
that you have not left my feed since the day I opened Instagram. You always on my feed. Every time I open my Instagram,
well,
I'm always
thank you.
seeing Mr. Toib advising, motivating people to come to the UK, what they should do, what they shouldn't do. Thank you for doing the great job. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And beside Mr. beside Toib, I'm gonna use Toib now on the podcast because the Nigerianness in me
Exactly. Exactly.
is my own favorite girl, Toby. Let's meet you.
Hi everyone. My name is Toby, like Fallo said. I think some other people call me Tobes. Right. I'm a finance professional currently, hoping that I get something more exciting in the future. But yeah, finance professional now for about 6 years. I've spent, over 2 years in the UK, close to 3 years now. What else is there to say? I guess definitely the work culture in the UK is different than what we are used to in Nigeria. And compared to Toyib, I'm still relatively new. I still consider myself relative relatively new. And this is coming like really close. On Thursday, I was at a Manchester Young Professionals event, and I had to interact with like young people in the UK doing different things and all of that. It's exciting, right? And all of that. And I hope that I'm able to share as little or as much as I think I know so far.
Yeah, I trust you will share because now I have a quick confession. I'm going to say this on the podcast. So while I was in school, when we were in uni, like she's the first class student in economics department. So then me say I sabi book small, but we get oga. So there are people who believed in me. A lot of people who believed in me that if I tell them I'm going to organize a tutorial, there'll be multitude of people come to want to learn from me. But nobody knew this secret that a day before the tutorial, I'm going to call Toby to the faculty, sit her down. She's going to teach me the mathematics, statistics, everything that I'm going to teach the people. So she's just those scholar, low key people to they shout. So I know she's gonna be modest, trying to be humble. Yeah, well,
like
she's
Toby, this tutorial must not spoil you.
Yeah, now with the cast
Yeah.
for
That's
her.
amazing.
And on the other hand, we have the mama herself. I mean, she's one of the gifts I got from TikTok. You know, while I was doing TikTok live, I met a lot of people, wonderful people, and she's one of them. So when the need to organize this particular podcast came on, she came on. You know, man, like, I'm going to bring her on board, and that's Dami Pearl herself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Damilola Adegoke, but most people call me Dami Pearl. It's a name I picked up along the line. So I'm into banking currently. Never been into banking before I came into the UK. But I'm majorly into risk and framework in the bank. And I'm relatively new here too, just like her. It's a bit over 3 years I got into the UK, and I've been everywhere from healthcare to social care to whatever, but basically children.
Oh, wow.
So I transited from healthcare children into the workforce, and it's really a game changer for me. I'm still practically new, a little over a year in the corporate world in the UK, and I must say there's a huge difference, and that is what we are here to unbox.
Thank you very much. And talking about the huge difference, now I'm going to start with you. The accent. How are you coping?
Oh,
Because I want to believe you work with people from different.
okay. My first team, I think I had a soft landing. I must be honest, because my first line manager was Nigerian.
Oh, wow.
She's female Nigeria, so it gave me some level of soft landing.
Okay.
But 3 months into the job, she left
Oh.
the team, and I was the only person of color.
Wow.
So I know where you talk about
So
accent.
that buffer went.
But I think that buffer helped me because she was a good one, because I saw she's been in the industry for over, say, 15, 18 years. And she talks exactly the way I talk.
Oh, wow.
And the first thing she told me was, you are not trying to impress anybody. They will understand. That was her exact word. So I've never tried to have an accent.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Never. I've
Yeah.
never tried it out. I just speak as it comes. What I'm conscious of is, do I have my tenses correctly? Do you understand? Do I understand what I'm saying? Because if I don't understand me, you cannot understand me.
Yeah.
So those are just my thing. I've never thought about accent. So I've always talked the way I've always talked. See, I've lived my life in Nigeria, so I don't expect somebody to expect me to speak like a British person.
Yeah.
But I would speak for you to understand, but not for me to have the accent so that you can understand.
Okay. Thank you for that. Toby, when you talk to probably Brits, do you kind of talk like them so they can understand you?
I mean, I was going to chip into what she said, where she said, oh, you don't need to have an accent. But I think if we're being honest, it happens subconsciously for some of us, right? I can remember one of the first hangouts because, okay, I think we didn't mention this before. I'm from Manchester. And Manchester, we have like this closer knit than, people in London because, we're not as big as, So I had this African hangouts with like colleagues or people that were working in other offices, right? And then I was talking to somebody and they were like, oh, why are you talking like, a British person or like an American person and all of that? And I'm like, oh, don't mind me. I'm just code switching. Do you understand? And it happens for some of us like that. And the person was like, oh, where did you pick it from? I'm like, I don't even know where. But it's also probably because of I watched a lot of, Hollywood movies growing up, and it's sort of like, and there is this part of each and every one of us that wants to be like the type of people that, we're looking up to. So I want to say there's nothing wrong with if you catch yourself feeling like you're forming an accent. And then I'll go back to what she said. What you need to focus on or what needs to be important is, are you communicating clearly? That is what is important. Do you understand? If you think it's something you want, like, oh, I want to learn a British accent, it doesn't make you less than another Nigerian.
Absolutely.
Do you understand?
Yes.
If you have a Nigerian accent and that's what you want to stick to it, but make sure you communicate clearly. And then I think the last bit I would say on that is, apart from those of us that maybe grew up in Lagos, for people that grew up in places that have like more deeper
Thick
accented
accent, yeah.
accent, it's not a negative thing. I think embrace that, but at the same time also understand that it's okay to want to learn to communicate more clearly.
That makes sense.
As Yoruba people, we used to say, oh, we have the H factor and all of that. So like
Yeah.
once you're like,
I think I have H square.
Do
My
you-
own is
so like yeah. So when you're aware of something like that, if you think it's something you want to fix, do you understand? Work on it. There's nothing wrong with improving yourself so that you are able to acclimatize yourself with whatever environment it is that you are. But the balance is, don't ignore where you grew up from. Don't say, oh, people in Nigeria speak like local people. No, that's who you are. That's where you're from. But it still doesn't mean that you should not try to be better.
Yeah.
So that's what.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Toby. So, Tohib, like I would try to call you Tohib.
That's fine. Fire
Or
on.
you see me, I'll try to.
Fire
So, what
on.
do you want to say about accents? Let's have your opinion on it.
I would second everything Toby and Dami has said. The first important thing is that you are enough.
Okay.
You are enough. When we growing up in Nigeria, we used to watch the BBC and we used to think everybody spoke like people on BBC.
Yeah.
But when you come here, you see that London accent is different from Manchester accent.
Scottish
It's different from Scottish
Oh
accent.
God.
You see what I mean? And those people never try to speak like the English.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
In fact, if you understand the history and the culture, you know that it is almost like
An abomination.
like a
For you
taboo.
to speak
Yeah,
like
for
any
you
other
Yeah,
to
person.
I
speak
know
like
people that come
Welsh
from
people.
like Wales
Yeah,
and
exactly,
they've
Wales.
like Scotland and they've worked in England for a long time. They don't go back home trying to speak like English people. People be like, so because you
Even
went to
the
live,
Indians.
yeah,
The Indians.
well,
they
the
don't
Indians are
care.
even different because they are like us.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like us. Yeah.
But like even within the
White.
UK,
The UK. Yeah.
you know someone by their accent. Their
Yeah.
accent is a
Part
part
of
of
who
them.
we are,
It's
yeah.
their
It's part of
identity.
who we are, yeah.
I used to work with some guys from Scotland, and everybody knew that they are Scottish people.
Scottish.
In fact, they even gave me their book of Scottish slangs for me to learn. They be like, you like the food, Wale? Aye. They use aye a lot. So when I didn't know how prevalent that accent is, but I understood that was Scotland. Then I went to Glasgow. And everybody at that train station in Glasgow was literally speaking like this, my two friends that I've known for years. So your accent is your identity.
Yeah.
The only thing you can do is speak slowly so that people can hear you. As long as you hear me, that's all I owe you. I'm not going to change. So people say, you've been here for so long and you still speak Yoruba or you speak that's who I am. So having comfort, be confident in who you are. Your accent is not what they need, but what you are there to do. Do your work. You are Nigerian, you are Indian, you are, even in Yoruba place, Lagos Yoruba is different from
Different
Ibadan
states,
Yoruba.
yeah.
And that's the same thing here.
Yeah.
Liverpool English is different from London English. London English is different from Welsh English. Everybody have their own accent. So be confident in who you are.
I like
Just as
that.
they said.
But
and just
before we
carry on.
move on from this accent, I think I've got a friend who said, I think at the end of the year, they mark them on communication that it kind of affect. Is that true?
Yeah, it is. It is, and it's important too.
So other team if you have like team meetings, other team are probably going to assess you on.
So I think
Or how does it work?
it's more like implied. Do you
Okay.
understand? So if in every meeting, I think everybody sort of understands that when you first come in, you might say, "Oh, come again." You might miss some things
Yeah.
out. Do you understand? But like the longer you stay, the longer you should get kind of used to it. So it's sort of like adaptability skills.
Yeah, but Toby, this is what I want to say now. It's easy for you guys to say this because you are in the system already.
Yeah.
If I want to join you guys in that sector
Yeah.
and probably I'm being interviewed by someone,
Mhm.
it should be a big deal for me.
Mm.
Because if I'm trying to remain myself, like originality, I want to speak like myself. Because I think there was one time I got an interview final level with as a business analyst with what was this company, and I can say categorically that the only reason why I didn't get that role was probably they didn't hear me clearly. Now I was new then, not because the other person did something extraordinary or whatever.
Okay.
Because for me to have gotten to that final stage after
Yes.
exam, online, everything,
Yes.
it was a panel, and I called that there were times they said, "Can you come again?" And I started feeling somehow.
Okay.
When
Yeah.
2 times, 3, 4 times, they kept
Yeah.
telling me the same thing.
Okay.
Can you say that again?
Okay.
After you explain myself, like, okay.
Yeah.
So that could be a factor. Like, okay, the fact that we struggle to hear this guy.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I get him, it might not be a factor.
Mhm.
So, in as much as we want to remain original, I want to encourage people to say, okay, keep what you are. Also, let them know that to get to that phase,
Yeah.
that little thing can be a major factor
Yeah.
100% for beginners.
for beginners.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
I think to say to that,
Mhm,
it's not about accent
mhm,
at that point. For me,
mhm,
getting your story correctly is about communication. And when I mean communication, he had addressed the point, which is Toib said, talk slowly
mhm,
and clearly.
and clearly.
You see, those two things. If I want to say, how are you, right? An Englishman say, how are you?
Mhm.
But because you know he's an Englishman, you kind of get what he's trying to say.
Mhm.
I'm a Yoruba girl. If I say, how are you?
Mhm.
Because I said it that fast,
Yeah.
you would have to pause
But that's
as
the
an English
accent. But
person
that's the
because that is accent.
Yeah.
But I can also say, how are you?
But there's a place of this accent in communication.
What you're
That's what I'm saying.
saying
Slowly and clearly
exactly.
would create understanding
Mhm.
rather than accent.
Yes, there is
So
a.
if you have an accent,
Mhm.
if you have an accent and you know for a fact that the way I speak, people would not get me, especially an English person who does not know where I'm from. I would rather speak slowly and clearly rather than trying to pass my point in few seconds. And exactly how we treat them.
Yes.
Do you know that as somebody coming from abroad into the UK, if you speak to an Englishman, the best way to tell the person to come again is, can you come again slowly this time? The reason is because it's not because he's not speaking correctly. It's because he's too fast. That's why if you can think back, if you have friends that are from here, when you guys are gisting, like you're just having gist, most of the time you don't understand what they're saying. If I'm correct,
Yeah.
You miss some things out.
you miss it. If I'm speaking Yoruba to you, you can never miss my joke
Exactly.
because that is your language. So slowly and clearly is the key. It's
I-
not forming an accent.
I quite agree with that.
What she's saying there, the first bit is self-awareness. The understanding where you are. You are not
Exactly.
at home. You are not with your friends. You are with people that are
Very
probably
important.
hearing you for the first time.
Yeah.
You know, probably interacting with someone like you for the first time. And it's not like London, where in London, a lot of people know what is what. So if you go and get a job inside England, where they've not interacted with someone like you have to be self-aware and speak clearly and slowly. And then communication is a two-way thing. It's not about what you speak as well. It's how well you listen.
Yeah.
So when they say they are judging you on communication, accent is just a very small part of that. So how well do you listen to other people as well? You also have to have that self-awareness to listen clearly when they are talking to you as much as you can. But then for your interview, a lot of things compound when you are doing interviews.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is always this
Anxiety.
pressure,
Yeah.
anxiety, exactly, that comes with interviews, which happens when you are speaking publicly.
Exactly.
And that's why I always beg people to invest in public speaking before they need it.
Sure.
Because as at that interview, you are meant to even speak louder than your normal voice so that they can hear you. Because you already have the anxiety already putting you down, making your voice lower than what it should be. So you should raise your pitch a little bit more to match that occasion. So there are so many things that are working. It's not necessarily, the accent is there, but there are a lot of things. Maybe this job, I need sponsorship. So many things are coming in at that time and it will build up the pressure. So the communication bit is two ways. How you are listening, which is writing and speaking as well, and how you are responding to it. So for for a new beginner, of course, you may lose some opportunities because of that. But it's part of the learning curve. It has nothing to do with your skills. You're just getting used to the environment, and you do one, you do two, and before you know it, you're already
professional.
you're in the mix.
Honestly, I agree with what everyone has said, but at the same time, my own bit is if you are listening and you're a beginner like me, or you want to get into it, if you need to learn accents, if you need to form accent to get the job, please do.
Well, definitely.
When you get there, be yourself, be original, whatever. But if you need to learn or form it, please do. That's all. So go to the next one. There's this popular, saying here, seed, sage, soil. I'm not pronouncing the T because I'm British.
You're
No,
British.
I don't
So the CE sage sorted is not a thing in Nigeria. The reason why I said it's not a thing is that I also worked in the banking sector before I left. And if I'm a team leader and if one of my team members did something wrong, there's a way you see like mash a monk or we don't want to take it up, we'll talk about something like that. But yeah, it is your team leader that's gonna smile with you that will report you first. After reporting you, she'll still come and talk to you like normal. So you guys are there in the sector now. How is it compared to what we had, at home where, here you see it said it's sorted, and back home whereby there's a way I'm not saying we don't report issues.
Yeah.
Well, so I want you guys to clarify that difference. Is it whistle blowing the quality or what?
It's not
So
whistleblowing.
Toby, let's say
I
how is
think
it?
the thing is, I was speaking to a friend about this on Thursdays at the same event, right? Never get too comfortable at work. Do you understand? No matter how close you are with your colleagues, no matter how close you are with your team lead, with your leader, with your boss, you don't call anybody boss.
Your
and all of that.
manager.
Yeah, your manager, your the toppest person in your company that you can meet them at the coffee station and just have a chat with them. Still always have it at the back of your mind that you are in a work environment. Do you understand? It's not the same thing as having bands with your friends. There is a place you must always intuitively know that line is there. Do you understand? So yes, there's some things that you say and there's some things that you don't say. As much as companies will try to say, "Oh, be vulnerable," tell us everything, that always review things in your mind. Do you understand? I know, because everything you say, you're going to be reviewed by it. I don't want to use the word judged by it, but exactly that's what it is.
That's a good choice of word. I mean,
You're going to be judged by it, because by the time they're calling your line manager to speak about you, the person too is also going to be having a conversation with their own line manager. So, and it's everything that conversation is, do you get, that goes into your report, that goes into, having that. So I had a, review in my office. We call it partners. Those are the toppest people, right? And people were going into this thing, preparing, doing this. And then the person that was assigned to me is this type of person that you can just randomly walk up to. He says it will randomly walk up to me. And I was like, I don't know what this conversation is going to be like. Eventually, I got in the room and then we're just chatting about different things. He said, "Oh, I've read your slide. I don't need you to present for me." And we're just chatting about me being a Nigerian, me being in the office, me doing this and all of that. And then he finished, I finished that and I came out I just had a chat with a friend. Right. But the thing is, at the back of my mind, I knew that this is a performance review. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So there were some things I would have said with my friends, because at some point we spoke about, being black in the UK. Do you understand? And then he said something about it. And then there was a comment I was going to make and I caught myself I'm not with my fellow black colleagues. So it's a lot of work.
Self-awareness.
Yes, but you also have to be aware that this is what it is. And then by the time that review finished, he spoke to my line manager, because he's supposed to submit, his whatever he saw to my line manager said, "Oh, this person said you're confident." Do you understand? This person said, "Oh, you are aware and you seem like you know what you want to do." So we were just having a conversation, but it doesn't mean that the person reviewing me was not picking whatever they wanted. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So you could be at a coffee station at the office and talking to somebody randomly. From that conversation, they can pick various touch points on who you are, how you would address your work. Do you understand? So don't feel too comfortable and feel like, "Oh, I'm just banting with you." You're never banting at workplace. It's never a bant, please. You should be free with your colleagues because you have to show your personal side too. But at the same time, always know that. So it's that balance, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have you, Damini.
Okay, I think I'm going to a little push into what you said in terms of getting issue known with hierarchy in terms of if there's an issue or you notice somebody is not doing something correctly. If I'm correct, that's your question,
Yeah,
right?
that's the question. Yeah.
Yeah. Say in the office space here, there's something they call freedom of expression. They make it look like it's a white paper. But believe me, it's I know why.
White and black.
I know why.
I know
let
why.
Me, let me use my accent right now. I know why. And this is why I said so. There's an impression of you can say anything if you have a concern, which is good, which is allowed. But like she said, being aware of where you are and how to deal with people. See, if you're in the corporate in the Western world, being a people person and understanding to read people is a skill. It's not a skill you should have. It's a required skill. It's a must have. Because see, you would see somebody talk to you generally. And let me give you a typical example. A friend of mine, she was gisting, just normal, like you said, you're gisting with her colleague. And she told the colleague, oh, she has an aged mother that lives with her, blah, blah, blah. Just normal gist. Now, a training came up in the office where she's going to be abroad for like 3 weeks. And the so-called person she was gisting with said, oh, she won't be appropriate. She has an aged mother at all.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, and that person doesn't see it as something bad.
Do you
get? Understand?
So that automatically she was
disqualified that person.
Automatically. And believe me, because the matter didn't get to you, you can't put it up to say, oh, why did you disqualify me? But it came out of a conversation you had with another colleague. The colleague you had the conversation with, you were not saying it because you were trying to feel maybe vulnerable or pity party. It just came up in a gist.
Yeah.
But see how that gist had affected something that is really important to you. So I say that to say, I agree with her absolutely when it comes to even reporting issue. You want to put an issue. If you want to say, oh, Falo did an error with a file, right? And you're just trying to maybe report to your manager or something, because we at Team Lead, we have Toib as our manager. And I want to report to Toib and say, oh, Falo did this. I won't come and say, oh, Toib, Falo had done an error. You would come and say, oh, I feel there's a misconception in this file. Can you kindly recheck? Do you know that I have indicted you, but I did not say it to say, oh, Falo did.
Falo, yeah.
Name calling.
You have to be deliberate when you don't in the corporate world, or not if I see an error in a file, I will not say, Falo, think there's an error in this file. I'll say, look, can you kindly cross-check this file? I'm having difficulty in
sorry to cut you short. In Nigeria, would you just say Falo, you did an error here and correct it down?
Of course.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to take it as a big deal, like, okay, but you got my shit.
It's a big deal because, like we said, it's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
See, if I come and tell you as a black person that had lived all your life back home, and I say, you're a liar, you can just say, no, I'm not a liar. I didn't lie to you.
Yeah.
If you tell somebody here that you are a liar, he or she can sue you.
Yeah.
It's a big
libel.
deal.
Yeah, on his character.
So it's because the person will not see it from a place of you are just talking. The person would think it far as back as you are defaming my character. So that is a place of culture. So here, you don't just tell people, ho-ha. You try as much as you can to be diplomatic. That's the word I'm looking for here. Being diplomatic is a life skill that in the corporate world, I must say. Because in my 1 year, I've learned something differently from back home. I'm in the corporate for over 15 years back home. So, and I'm just a year here. So I can tell you in all facts, when it comes to picking out people's error, reporting, and all that, you have to be more diplomatic here. Even though you need to let it be known. That's another thing. Because if you don't make it known,
it's saying that you're not doing your job.
you're not doing your job. That's it.
Good. Thank you. Because I think if I give you more time, Tori, bless have you. On this same
it's a very deep conversation. Like that could actually take the whole thing.
I mean, I don't mind. I just want people to learn one or two.
The big part which I seriously like agree with what has been said is it still goes back to being self-aware.
Sure.
Like you know where your safe space is. And workplace
It's
is
not
you see what I mean?
Yeah,
It
So
can never be it.
and that's why community is important. Like when you come back from work, have a place where you can let your hair down. Maybe if you have a partner or you have a group of friends that you catch up regularly, because people don't forget. And there are some decisions that will be made when you are not there.
True.
Sometimes the decision about your future and it matters more of what people say behind you. And in some places, you are literally like like I've been in a lot of meetings where I am the only ethnic minority, and I'm looking at myself, okay, I'm going into this meeting. People will judge you whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So you have to come correctly. You have to come very, very well. Like even when you go out with your teammates and stuff, there are some things you do at that party that they will never forget. And they will keep bringing it up. You think it's something, that day that we went out, followed this and this. And it is a joke.
Yeah.
It is a joke, but people won't forget. So being self-aware, knowing know your job as much as you can, be respectful as much as you can, and know the kind of jokes you can crack and the one you cannot crack. Is having like one like I don't know how to put it. Like once you understand the dynamics of the place, and as Dami was saying about diplomacy, you know how to put you know how to construct your sentence, you know how to use your words. You know, see it, say it, sorted. You know, you have to understand the culture. And you must be a student of people's behavior. You know what I mean? Like there are some people that you meet at work and you be like, how did this person get here? You know, probably in terms of competency or in terms of how they do their work. It happens here as well. There's nepotism in every industry.
Everywhere.
You know, so you have to understand that, okay, sometimes you have to even know the hierarchy of people. Who you can offend, who you should not offend.
True.
You know, who is closer to the boss, who has the ear of the boss. You have to understand all those kind of things. Who are the people that, if two people bring work to you now, which one should you do first?
Yeah.
You have to know it.
It happens here too.
All right.
Office politics here
you
is
have to
more
know it.
dicey
Like
than back home.
I study it to the extent that if I'm writing an email, I know who should be the first person in the email, the second person in the email, the last person in the email, who should be in the carbon copy.
I thought those things don't really matter.
You have to know.
They
It's human behavior at the end of the day.
Tell you that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Do you understand? But the thing is, like he said, be self-aware to know that, say, small, it does matter.
Yeah, you cannot just be walking jaga.
Exactly.
No, but to be honest, I think another thing I don't want to say we Africans, I can speak for Nigerians a bit, is we need to be more respectful. I think in terms of like maybe work culture back home, we see if somebody tell you that come and work for us, we're a family here. I know now it's now like a joke on the internet where people say, run from it. Run from it. But really, the work culture back home, you can say your work colleagues are your family back home because of the type of conversations you have, the type of bands that you guys go through and all of that. So I think it puts like that kind of like knowledge in us Nigerians that, you know, we can say anything, anyhow and anywhere. And to be fair, most of the things we say in the workspace, they are borderline disrespectful.
Yeah.
I worked with people that I call friends. They were my managers back home in Nigeria. And I know that as bands, they were making sexually offensive jokes. But in Nigeria, nobody would say, I'm reporting you for saying that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then here you keep hearing cases of, this guy was reported because of something he said. And then you see people, you know, turn up a mic or, you know, something on social media saying, oh, I was just, having a conversation with her and then she reported. I'm just saying that, see, you need to, like everyone has said, be self-aware to know that, see, our culture back home is more like a discal than it is here. You
Yeah.
have to be respectful.
Yep.
You have to be respectful. And it's not only with white people. Because I feel like a lot of us are usually saying, oh, when you're talking white people, be respectful. No. There are some black people
Everybody.
that will report you for things like that. I know. Do you
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
There are some Indians or Asians rather that would report you for things like that. The thing is, just know that you're at a workplace. Be respect. And I think some people need to like reframe their mind on understanding what is respectful and what is not respectful. So
Yep.
I think that's very important.
Thank
for
you
us.
very much. Now let's quickly go to the promotion and growth. In Nigeria, we can say our promotion can be based off some factors, not necessarily the skills or whatever years you've used. Maybe if boss like you, if you is it the same thing here? Like, is there like I like this person, I want to make a promotion faster, or it has to be, what it is. Like if there's a like a number of years you need to stay in a country to get promoted. Is it the same thing?
That's deep.
Mm.
There is meritocracy,
Mm-hmm.
and there is also likability, whether you like it.
Like ability works here.
Nepotism is
There's
there.
yeah, it is there. It is in every economy.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? There is that, and you must not take away like the struggles that people before us have had in this country.
Mm-hmm.
There was a set of the Wole Soyinka set,
Mm-hmm.
the Windrush generation. They had their challenges in terms of work, and you have to recognize that those things are still there. Like if you look at the Premier League, for example, like how many of our people are there in terms of managers? Does it mean that they are not qualified? There are some jobs that are strictly ability. Like you have to be extremely good to do it. But when you get to management role, when you have to manage people, in that kind of time, sometimes ability or
Might not be enough.
capacity might not be enough. Because when all of you now get to that role,
Same ability,
to the same ability, when you are in a smart, all of you are smart, all of you are very, very good. So who comes to the top? It's a decision of somebody to make. So don't worry about all those things. You just do what you can do. Be respectful, do the best that you can, and then let every other thing decide itself. But you will earn. That is definite. If you can do your work, you earn money, you look after your family. Like some people will say, I'm not trying to become a prime minister. I just want to work, and for example, you even see it online. Recently, when David Lammy became a deputy prime minister, I saw some tweets and I was just
with him.
Yeah.
You see, he's a big man.
Oh, no,
he had picture with
I just used to
Fancy
bump.
him.
he had picture with almost the top, the
No, when you live in London, there is a high chance you meet
Meet
like
these people.
on the underground everywhere. I didn't plan to meet him. I was just walking on Crossrail and I was going to cross the road for lunch. And I saw him go, this is David Lammy. And I called him. I'll call. I'll talk. And then we took pictures together. So there were some tweets that I saw. And I saw that this tweet is not about capacity or competence. It's more about, we don't want you here.
Yep.
So you have to understand that. Be good. Be competent. But know that when it gets to the top, some decision might not favor you. And that is fine. That's all the way I see it.
Toby, I want you to speak on the growth, trainings. Is it the same like in Nigeria? Do you get the same kind of trainings you get here while you're in Nigeria? Like maybe job skill and stuff like that. Is it the same thing?
I think maybe because of probably the type of
firm you work with?
firm I work with, I would say it's kind of relatively the same, right? But I think here something that they do is that they are always asking you for, things that you need. Do you understand? Unlike back home where, some people make decisions on the type of skills they think, you want to get in order to get into this role. Right? Those things are here too, but they always ask for feedback to say, oh, is there something specifically that you need that you think would help you get better in this role? Do you understand? And all of that. So I think in terms of growth, obviously people are interested in your growth, because you getting better also means, more money for, the bottom line and all of that, the company and all. So definitely it is that way. But I think in terms of like mixing promotion and growth, like Toyib has said, right, there is a stage it gets to where it's not just your ability again, right? And you may say, oh, just stay wherever they put you. But no, we know that that doesn't work for all of us. It makes some people sad. It makes some people, depressed about their jobs. There is nothing bad with learning to be likable. Do you understand? The only point is don't overdo it.
Yep.
Do you understand? Don't be a people pleaser. Don't be somebody that is throwing yourself at the foot of everybody because you want to be likable. But there is also the part of learning to be likable. There are people in my office that we call things like personality hires. So when you say personality hires, there are this type of people that, in terms of maybe community events at work, they are there. In terms of visibility in the office, everybody knows them. Do you understand? When it comes to like technical competence, they are not high there. Do you understand? But when it comes to like liaising with the bosses, with people down, they're like the bridge between, those connecting dots. So those are like their own core areas. So you cannot say, okay, you're competing with people like that. But the thing is, you should also aspire to learn some skills from people like that. Do you understand? Learn how to be in an office and have conversations with people. Learn how to not have lunch and sit alone. It's tough. I can remember my first year when I came here. I'm usually very overwhelmed. Whenever it's time for lunch, I want to sit alone. Do you understand? But at some point, I learned that it makes you feel like you don't want to interact with your team members.
Yes.
It makes it look as if you're saying, I don't like you people.
You don't want to bond.
Do you get? And if you have to pick between two persons that have the same technical competence, and then there is this person that you flow with better in workplace, and this other person that is always standoffish, that always keeps to themselves, obviously you pick the person that it happens everywhere, whether you're Nigerian, whether you are living in Yemen, whether you're living in Iran or anything. It's us humans. We like interacting with people that we like. It's what we call chemistry. There's business chemistry, there's professional chemistry. So learn to be likable. Do you understand? Yeah, I think that's
I think
what
for
I'll
me
say.
too, I would really flow with her last few statements, which are learn to be likable. I make bold to say that I'm one of the few people that I'm very likable. Believe me, it's a skill, it's a gift. Some people it comes to some people
Naturally,
easily.
yeah.
But if you know for a fact that you're not a people person and you want to strive in the workplace in the Western world, you must learn to be a people person in quotes. And this is what I mean. You are, now that we are all, most of us don't go into the open office all the time. And you get to see your colleagues maybe once, twice a week. In fact, some of them you get to see them maybe more than once a month. On the day you go to the office, try as much as you can. Don't have too much on your desk. Part of your priority for that day is to have personal conversation, lunch breaks, tea breaks. Oh, I'm going for coffee. Would you like to come along?
Exactly.
You see, those things come to people like us easily. But if it doesn't come to you easily, you have to learn it, because your success in that job absolutely depends on it.
Yeah.
And this is why I say so. She said a point and say, I have 2 slots to fill. I have a slot to fill in my team. I have 3 people that I'm their manager that I work with. One of them must fill. I've checked competence. I've
Same level.
checked
On
certification.
same level.
I've checked training.
On same level.
That is the only thing that is left. And you are, in fact, sometimes that particular communication and interaction with your colleagues can give you an higher point than even training.
Yeah.
Some of the time.
Yep.
I tell people, I say, I've known people in my office that when we have things like maybe Hub Day, Career Summit and things like that, they are optional. It will just be in your calendar. You can either accept or reject. Nobody would crucify you for it.
Yep.
But believe me, those things are as important as the job that you do.
Yep.
And the reason is because when you go to that places, most of the time maybe your team, okay, like my team, we're just about 8 of us. But if you go to such things, you meet 20, 30 other people from other teams. They ask you,
Yep.
what do you
Yep.
do? Blah,
Yep.
blah, 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 blah. I've seen people switch roles within an organization just because they attend such things.
Yeah.
So, in fairness, here they don't spoon feed you
That's
when
it.
it comes to training.
Yeah.
There are budgets for trainings, there are budgets for travels,
Mm-hmm.
but those things, it won't be in your calendar. You have to talk to your... See, there's something they use in my office. Your career development is
It's
here.
in your hands,
It's in your hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but you know, back home,
It's everywhere.
especially if you're in the civil service, they allocate trainings every year. All these things are just allocated. There's no allocation here. If you need a training, you request for it, they review it and say, oh, okay, it's
Go
good
for
for
it,
your job.
yeah.
Then go for the training they sponsor you. So if you are waiting for somebody to say, there's this training, oh yeah, go for it, you won't see it here. That's the difference between training here and back home. But is it available here? Yes. Is it available back home? Yes.
But the allocation is, I think the summary of that is the hard skills and the soft skills. part.
Yeah, true.
It's very important. I used to say, go to the pub. You don't have to drink. Go there. Let people know you. And if you are working at home, as Dami said, that one day, because staying in the office is an opportunity for you to meet people.
Yeah.
But that one day that you are in the office, that one, very important.
Yeah.
Because they say out of sight is out of mind. You know what I mean?
So you see people come, like she said, they come to the office and say, oh, I'm in today. A lot of people that are not in my, that are just my friend, when we just gist, I tell them, I say, the day I go into the office, believe me, I don't get much done.
Sure. Same.
Work-wise. But you see, that interaction
Interrelationship.
is the best thing that can happen to your career in the corporate world.
You see that in football as well. You see one manager, he leaves one club, you take one player.
Mhm.
He goes to another, you take
Yeah,
that
he
same
goes
player.
back, yeah.
You take him just taking him around. And you see it in corporate world as well. Somebody leaves a company and the first thing he say, that guy, I want him to join me in my company. It's you cannot take that away. And like I said before, when the competency is over, people will do business with who they like, they know, and they trust.
Exactly.
You can call it nepotism, whatever you call it,
Exactly.
but
It is what it is.
it is what
That's just it.
it is.